Well, thank you very, very much, Notre Dame, for that wonderful rendition of O Canada. Thank you, Councillor Leeper, for choosing Notre Dame to be our guest here to sing the national anthem, and we wish you the very best. It's now my honor to invite Kay Doobie and Liz Tucker to the podium for this Council's City Builder Award presentation, if they would like to come forward. And I'll ask Councillors Wilkinson and Hubley to come forward, their representatives. J'invite maintenant Kay Doobie et Liz Tucker à monter.
I'd like to invite Kay Doobie and Liz Tucker with Councillors Wilkinson and Hubley.
And friends of Kay and Liz who are here today. Some have traveled from Houston, Texas, and others a little closer at hand. Our honored guests have worked tirelessly for the Canada Seniors Council and have been instrumental in maintaining the high quality of services available to seniors in the community. Kay and Liz, I think someone said you're like Thelma and Louise of Canada. Is that? Oh, that was me. I knew it sounded familiar. Kay and Liz have been dedicated volunteers advocating for seniors' needs and helping to provide services and programs that greatly benefit the community. It's my honor to acknowledge their work and contribution with this meeting's City Builder Award. This award recognizes people who have demonstrated an extraordinary commitment to making our city a better place today and for the future through outstanding volunteerism or exemplary action. Kay began her volunteer work at the Canada Seniors Centre as a volunteer knitter in the craft group, and she soon became chair of the group. As chair, she coordinates the operations of the group, which includes the sponsorship of senior services in the community, notably donating $10,000 to the local hospice care Ottawa facility. Kay became president of the Canada Seniors Council, leading the board through its operations, council cafe, instructional computer training program, travel tips, and other services for seniors. She is now past president of the board and continues to be a shining example of seniors helping seniors. Liz Tucker began her work at the Canada Senior Centre as a friendly and helpful front desk receptionist. She quickly expanded her volunteer role to join the Centre's special events team, where she helped to coordinate and implement special events for members of the Centre. Liz became treasurer of the Canada Seniors Council in 2010 and also stepped forward to implement the annual Seniors Games program, which we've all had an opportunity to participate in. The Far West Fun Fest began in May 2011 with 200 seniors participating in more than 20 activities in a 2-week period, and the program is still going strong. And you can well imagine the coordination of all of those seniors with those programs in different locations. It is. Outside of Liz's involvement with seniors, she's still an active volunteer with the Friends of the Library, Beaverbrook branch, assisting with fundraising to augment the services available to the community. I'd like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank Kay and Liz for their many, many years of contribution to the community, not just in Canada, but throughout the city. J'aimerais saisir cette occasion pour remercier.
I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank Kay and Liz for their many contributions to the community and the entire city.
And Councillor Wilkinson to present you with this meeting's Mayor's City Builder Award. Congratulations. Right here, we just push a little over to the left.
Yeah, just a bit. Thank you. On behalf of Liz and I, we are very, very proud to receive this honor. We also feel that it's an honor to the Canada City Council as well. We work in tandem with them. We have been an integral part of the Canada Senior Council for many years. Mayor Watson spoke of our Far West Fun Fest, which is kind of our baby. And it was something Liz put together 7 years ago and has grown in leaps and bounds. We're absolutely amazed that it took off the way it did. On registration day in April, we have people lining up outside the door waiting to get in. And we do have a limit, so now they're all scrambling. They're going to stay overnight this year, I think. We do this in cooperation with many, many people. Mainly the City of Ottawa helps us through the Canada Senior Centre. The Beaverbrook Library lends support. The retirement residences in our area lend support. And we also have a huge group of volunteers who also makes it work for us, because we certainly couldn't do it without them. We hope to keep doing this for many years. We feel that it is a valuable gift to our seniors, and it fulfills our motto of the Canada Senior Council, which is seniors helping seniors. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
She's not giving a financial report.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations, Kay and Liz, and thank you. I know there are a number of members of the Canada Seniors Council here today, and friends from the West End. We welcome you as well, and appreciate your being here to support these two remarkable citizens of our city. Roll call, please, Madam Deputy Clerk.
Conseiller Minette.
Present.
Councillor Middick.
Here.
Councillor Harder. Here. Councillor Wilkinson.
Present.
Councillor El Shantiri.
Present.
Councillor Kadri.
Present.
Councillor Taylor.
Here.
Councillor Shirelli.
Here.
Councillor Eglai.
Here.
Councillor Deans. Here. Councillor Tierney.
Present.
Conseiller Fleury.
Ici.
Councillor Nussbaum.
Here.
Councillor McKenney.
Present.
Councillor Leeper.
Ici.
Councillor Brockington.
Here.
Councillor Chernyshenko.
Present.
Conseiller Cloutier.
Present.
Conseiller Blais.
Present.
Councillor DeRuse.
Here.
Councillor Moffat.
Here.
Councillor Kakish.
Present.
Councillor Hubley.
Here.
Mayor Watson.
Here.
Le quorum est atteint, Monsieur le maire.
Merci.
You have the quorum.
Full confirmation of minutes, the 27th of September 2017. Carried. Declaration of interest, including those originally arising from prior meetings. Déclaration de conflit d'intérêt. Communications as presented. Regrets, none on file. Motion to introduce reports. Motion portant présentation de rapport. Councillor Kakish, seconded by Councillor Taylor, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That item 5 of Planning Committee Report 50A, Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee Report 28, Finance and Economic Development Committee Report 28, Planning Committee Report 51A, Transportation Committee Report 27, and the report from the City Clerk and Solicitor's Office entitled Summary of Oral and Written Public Submissions for Items Subject to Bill 73 Explanation Requirements at City Council meeting of September 27, 2017 be received and considered, and that the rules of procedure be suspended to consider Planning Committee Report 52 in order to allow for timely registration of Finley Creek Stage 2, Phase 4C subdivision at 4784, 4798 Bank Street, and that the petition with respect to the installation of an all-way stop control at the intersection of Longleaf Drive and Shakewood Street, Montclair Avenue, listed on the agenda, be received.
On the motion, carried. Reports, postponements, and deferrals. Planning Committee Report number 50A. Councillor Fleury has a motion, seconded by Councillor Harder. Councillor Fleury, if you'd like to introduce it, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Maire. So the motion in front of us really relates back to some of the work of committee relating to those digital signs. There's been, in my mind, some challenges in respect to the applicability of the bylaw. So we're asking staff to do a bit of a review on it. So I'll read that therefore be it resolved that staff be directed to review bylaw 2016-326 and report back on how this bylaw regulates illuminated window signs, along with the recommendations of how bylaw 2016-326 could be amended to augment regulatory framework for this type of signage. Be it further resolved that staff report back to Planning Committee on December 12, 2017 with the review and recommendation. Mr. Mayor, just to clarify, this is the signs that we want to promote, the digitalization of signs. We've had issues in relations to flashing of these signs and also the amount of illumination that they're pushing onto the sidewalk and street. So we had gone through that in the work from staff, but I still see some applicability issues in terms of bylaw. So their review is needed. Thank you.
Okay, and this has the support of Councillor Harder, the chair of the committee. So on the motion, carried. On the report as amended, carried. Thank you. Next item is committee reports. Rapport des comités agriculture et des affaires rurales, number 28. Zoning bylaw amendment for 5721, 5731, and 5741 Manotick Main Street. Carried. Next is item 3, revised requirements for rural coach houses on private services. Councillor Moffat has a motion, seconded by Councillor El Chantier. This is a technical amendment. Councillor Moffat, if you'd like to introduce your motion, please.
Thank you. At committee, when this has come to committee the past 3 times, we've discussed the lot size requirement for it. And we had a motion from Councillor Chantier that was approved at committee, and we just needed to alter the wording for the report to reflect that motion. So where staff report recommends a reduction in the minimum required lot size of coach house in the rural area and on private services from 0.8 hectares to 0.65 hectares, and whereas on October 5th, 2017, the Agricultural Affairs Committee carried a motion to modify the recommended minimum required lot size from 0.65 hectares to 0.4 hectares, and whereas further amendments to the staff report necessary to ensure the reduction in required lot size is captured within the proposed amendments to the official plan zoning bylaw and site plan control bylaw, therefore be it resolved that document 1, proposed amendment to the official plan, document 2, details the recommended zoning bylaw amendment, and document 3, amendment to the site plan control bylaw be revised, replacing the number 0.65 with the number 0.4 wherever it appears, and be it further resolved that pursuant to subsection 3417 of the Planning Act, no further notice is required. Now, in addition to that, I also just wanted to, item 6, just to amend item 6 in the motion to change the review on the policy from 5 years to 3 years. So I'd move that, seconded by Councillor Harder. The 5-year review, since staff didn't support the 0.4 hectare change, we put in the motion that we would review it, review the impacts of that. 5 years was very arbitrary. 3 years actually gets us in before the next official plan review. So that provides time for staff to see the impacts of that change. So I just would move that as well. I don't have that written down.
Do you have another motion sheet, Councillor? I think so. The Deputy Clerk has that. So that the policy review outlined in recommendation 6 be 3 years instead of 5 years. Is that correct?
That's
so
correct.
On that, that's part of the overall motion, obviously. So on the motion, carried. On the report as amended, carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item is, excuse me, Finance and Economic Development Committee. Report number 28, rapport numéro 28 du Comité des finances et de
Report 28.
declaration of surplus lands, part of 3392 Jockville Road, 1209 Saint Laurent, and the transfer of parts of 3311 Greenbank, 261 Bren Mauer Road, and 3392 Jockville and 1209 Saint Laurent Boulevard to Ottawa Community Lands Development Corporation for future disposal. Carried. Item number 6 is the purchasing bylaw, règlement sur les achats, that the council approve the amendments to the purchasing bylaw. Carried. Item number 6, Brownfields Grant Program Application, 900 Albert Street, demande de cadre de programme de subvention pour la remise en valeur des friches industrielles 900 rue Albert. Carried.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to dissent on recommendation 4.
On number 4. Okay. Thank you. Item number 7, 2016 Service Ottawa Performance Measurement, Mesure de rendement de service Ontario 2016. Carried. Item number 8, Richmond's 200th Anniversary Celebration 2018, Célébration de 200e anniversaire de Richmond 2018. Carried. Item 9, Rehabilitation Grant Program 890 and 900 Bank Street, Programme de réménagement des friches industrielles 890 à 900 rue Bank. Carried. Planning Committee Report number 51A, rapport numéro 51A du Comité de l'Urbanisme. Excuse me, application for a new construction at 575 Old Prospect Road, a property designated under Part 5 of the Ontario Heritage Act and located in the Rockcliffe Park Heritage Conservation District. Carried. Item number 11 from Planning, Zoning Bylaw Amendment 1867 Alta Vista Drive, modification au règlement de zonage 1867 Promenade Alta Vista. Very patriotic number there, Councillor. Zoning Bylaw Amendment 2499 2500 Palladium Drive and 675 Auto Park Private. Carried. Planning Committee Report 52, rapport numéro 52 du Comité de l'Urbanisme, roadway modification agreement in respect of plan of subdivision 4784 and 4798 Bank Street intersection modifications. Carried. Transportation Committee Report number 27, rapport numéro 27 du Comité des Transports, 2018 Municipal Vehicle and Equipment Plan and Fleet Services Report, Plan de véhicules et de l'équipement municipal pour 2018. Hold. Is it a quick question, Councillor? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Well, I have to say, between committee and council, I have received lots of messages from the public who are really keen on moving forward with this because that high-pitched backup beep is disturbing to a lot of residents, especially in the overnight. But one of my constituents did write, and I thought made a really good point, which was this will be, presuming we move ahead with this after the pilot, this will be a significant change in tone from what we currently have. And it may be that the public is not aware of the urgency associated with it because of the change of tone. So I guess my question to staff is, can staff confirm that they'll be working to launch a campaign to inform residents and employees about the changes? And can staff confirm that this campaign will include audio such as TV or radio commercials so that we don't inadvertently create an unsafe situation by making this change?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, we can confirm that we'll be working with communications with a strategy around informing the public and our workers as well, because they're the ones in the yards where the backup alarms are basically intended to protect their lives.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else on this? On the item? Carried. Next item is 15, always stop control at the intersection of Longleaf Drive and Shakewood Street, Montclair Avenue. Arrête toute direction à l'angle de Promenade Longleaf et la rue Shakewood Avenue, Montclair. Carried. Bulk consent agenda. Does anyone wish to remove anything from the bulk consent agenda at this time? No. On the bulk consent agenda as presented? Carried. A motion to adopt reports. Motion portant adoption de rapport. Councillor Kakish, please. Second by Councillor Taylor.
That item 5 of Planning Committee Report 50A, Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee Report 28, Finance and Economic Development Committee Report 28, Planning Committee Reports 51A and 52, Transportation Committee Report 27, and the report from the City Clerk and Solicitor's Office entitled Summary of Oral and Written Public Submissions for items subject to Bill 73, explanation requirements at City Council meeting of September 27, 2017 to be received and adopted as amended.
On the motion, carried, adopté. Motions requiring suspension of the rules of procedure. Motion exigeant la suspension des règles de procédure. Councillor El Shantiri, seconded by Councillor Taylor, for a Deep Roots Food Hub root cellar proposal. There's a timeliness matter on this. On suspension, carried. Councillor El Shantiri, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Mr. Mayor, there's quite a bit of history behind this motion. We arrived today, and jokingly, I was speaking to Deputy Mayor Taylor, and I said, ironically, we cannot find the suitable place for this to happen with the time frame. So we end up having it in part of the urban area, which is great to show our city is all at one now, helping the rural farmer to store that root vegetable and also to be able to help people with cost saving. And we have a few folks we work with, but I want to acknowledge there's a couple of volunteers in the audience, Mr. Mayor, today. They're coming out of their work to be with us to witness this historical day for them. Obviously, they've been waiting long enough. So, Mr. Mayor, without going through all I just want to say the Ottawa Community Foundation give us a grant, $123,000. Also, $48,500 came from the Green Belt. Require additional, we need $25,000 to complete this project. This project is got the support of the Ottawa Community Foundation, Centertown Community Health Center, Enviro Center, the Good Food Box, Ottawa Public Health, Two River Food Hub, Carpridge Eco Wellness Center, Beatbox, Cooperative Farms Limited, and West Carton Family Health Team. And where it has hosted 11 food-related workshops to over 250 attendants, so far has received in-kind contribution value at more than $33,000, and whereas Rural Affairs Office aimed to support local initiatives that demonstrated benefit to rural residents and Ottawa farming community, and whereas the proposed 38 square meter cellar which will store up to 40,000 pounds of food will serve as an important pilot opportunity to validate the new technology that enhance local food access and security in Ottawa. Therefore, be it resolved that Council approve a one-time contribution of $25,000 in support of the root cellar project to be funded from within the Rural Affairs Office budget. So, Mr. Mayor, this is a good news for all of us around, and I hope my colleague will support this initiative. It's a small contribution from us, but as you can see, other major funder is funding this project, and it's run by volunteers, and we greatly appreciate their effort and not giving up, because it took some time trying to find the suitable location, but now we found it in Councillor Taylor's area, and we're grateful Councillor Taylor supported this project as well. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Great, thank you. Apparently the notification system is not working, so if you'd like to speak to this item, just wave. I believe Councillor Chernyshenko, Councillor Brockington on this item.
See if the mic's working. Yes, it is. Great. I know we're at risk of going overtime today, so I apologize for delaying this meeting, but no, I just want to speak briefly in support of this. I think it's a great initiative. I was at the Community Foundation event where this project was selected as one to receive funding, and I know they've had difficulty in finding the location, not for lack of goodwill of everyone, and Councillor El-Shantiri in particular working on this. I think it's a great example of a food security initiative that involves a lot of local groups, so I'm pleased to support this. Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the item? So on Councillor El-Shantiri, second by Councillor Taylor's motion, carried. Congratulations. Next is notices of motion for consideration of subsequent meetings. Avis de motion pour l'examen en réunion subséquente. We have two members of the Lebanese-Canadian caucus are moving this motion, Councillor Brockington and Kakish. Can we have a third and a fourth by Eli and George?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, Riverward is home to a large Lebanese community in the St. Elias Cathedral. But Councillor Kakish and I are providing notice of motion for our next meeting that we would like the city to declare the month of November Lebanese Heritage Month. This coincides with efforts being taken currently within the provincial legislature and a notice within the Parliament of Canada. So we will discuss and debate this 2 weeks from now. Thank you.
Great. Councillor El-Shantiri. Point of order. Point of order by Councillor Moffat. Put Councillor Moffat's mic on, please. There we go.
So just for the record, Councillor Kakish is Jordanian. I just want to make sure that we're aware that he's not Lebanese, because his name on the motion might make you think otherwise.
Thank you for that clarification. Okay, so that's the notice of motion, and I'm sure we'll have a great discussion about that at the next meeting. Does anyone else have a notice of motion for the next meeting or subsequent meeting? Motion to introduce bylaws. Motion portant présentation de règlement. Councillor Kakish and Taylor, please.
That the bylaws listed on the agenda under motion to introduce bylaws 3 readings be read and passed.
Carried. Adopté. Confirmation bylaw, réglementation de ratification, conseillers Kakish et Taylor, s'il vous plaît.
That the following bylaw be read and passed to confirm the proceedings of the council meeting of October 11, 2017.
Right. Carried. Do we have any written inquiries, Madam Deputy Clerk? Councillor Eglai.
Some landlords have recently introduced a new policy regarding parking. In particular, they've begun charging for the use of visitor parking spots. This change has led to a number of complaints in my office, as well as others, I'm sure. City staff has thus far indicated the city has no say in regulating this sort of change. However, it has recently come to my attention that other cities, such as Toronto, have passed a bylaw to deal with this sort of situation. I'd like staff to review the Toronto experience and any other relevant examples they can find in Ontario and report back to council as to what options there may be going forward to address this situation. In particular, I'd like to understand the rationale behind why Toronto believes it has the authority to be involved in the regulation of this type of parking change.
Okay. Adjournment. Councillor Kakish and Taylor, please.
That the proceedings of City Council meeting of October 11, 2017 be adjourned.
On the motion, carried. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. The meeting is adjourned.